All right, so we made it. We're at Richmond Copart right now. 2001 Toyota Camry. This is what we just picked up right here. Yeah. All right, 2001 Toyota Camry, walk around, front end damage. Walk around. I really don't like the forks, just very aggressive. Ugh. Underside. At least like the lateral links aren't bent on this one, so that's a plus. All right, so supposedly it says it runs and drives. The door latch is busted, so we're gonna crank it just to see what happens. Keys in there. So it runs. We ain't gonna do too much of that. So that's just confirmed for it to run. We'll do more of that so it can offload itself. Definitely not pushing. So we're gonna do like a quick offload when we get back, just to get it off, get it into storage. All right, cool. So it looks like that's what it is. All the latches work. The only thing, the door pop doesn't work. So we have to do that. I'm gonna throw a bungee across that hood just to make sure that that doesn't come flying up on us. But other than that, we're out of here. All right, and we made it here. I stopped by the car wash just to clean it up just a little bit, spray it down real quick. Yeah. So let me get this thing offloaded, and we will continue with this video. The check engine light is on. That's what I'm at least gonna start right now, just at least get that code ran, get this off. I'm gonna get it thrown in. We're gonna start it, but as you can see, radiator is probably damaged. Just I don't want to run it too long until I can at least get that hood pop to see what it's actually touching. Like I peeked in there, it didn't look like anything was actually touching, but you never know with like damage like this, don't want to chance it. But the mission or the goal of this video is to see if I could actually turn a profit with this. So this is kind of like, can you make a profit with Copart? So we're gonna find out. It's gonna be a journey. I think this video is gonna be multiples. Of course, hood's gonna be needed. Pretty much the whole front assembly. I'm gonna have to find that in a similar color. Would be ideal to just kind of speed up the process, make life a lot easier. So yeah, but offload time. All right, so I was gonna see if the check engine light or what it was, but there's no check engine light right now. So we're good. I got it running. I'm gonna shut it off real quick. That's why I'm talking a little quick. I just want to show you The headlights still work. They're just a little janky. But like, this is the work spot right here. This is where we'll be working on this to get this situated. This is gonna be my flip area. But yeah, stay tuned. We're gonna get this going, gonna collect parts. So it's gonna be a continuation, different day, but yeah. All right. So first order of business, I got to get this hood open, just so we can actually see the extent of the damage. From what I could see by just looking at it right now, is like the front the radiator support is pushed back, so we'll need to pull that forward. The hit does look kind of symmetrical, like it was like a straight on. So if you have something to pull like from the center out, we could get that straightened up. But like the latch isn't working. The hood release latch isn't working when we pull from the inside. So oops. So we pull that, and we have nothing. So we need to get this opened somehow. All right, hood is open. Radiator is cracked. This greenish residue you see in there is from that right there. So we need a new radiator. The fans, everything seemed like we might be able to salvage those possibly. That, and then also I want to hook up my air conditioning tools on this to check the pressure to see if actually if the AC parts are messed up also. So we have that, but remove headlights, of course. Get this bent back into place. Pull back. I'm not too sure. Yeah, you got spot welds like in there, like if we wanted to replace that, drill out those to remove it. We might be able to get this pull back and bang back into place, but we shall see. And yeah, it's just fluids all look dirty. Let's check dipstick. It looks probably like overfilled. Rip boot, you see there's a tape on that right there. We might need to replace this intake boot just to save headaches down the road. Well, it actually looks like the boot is somewhat relatively new. It just looks like right here, it looks like that might be actually just cracked. possibly. Do some digging, we'll check that out. There weren't any check engine lights, so that's a good sign. If there was like an intake leak, check engine light would come on for that. But right now, not sure. I probably need to start unbolting things just to get them off out the way, and then we could just go from there. So yeah. All right, as we're out here in our natural habitat in the wild of crushed wrecked vehicles, on a search for a hood, a bumper, and headlights for our Camry. So I went outside, got the little piece to try to color match to make sure we get the correct color. This isn't the right color. And also, if we check against this is the right color. So we find the Camry that's that color, we should be good. So we got our list of where everything is based off of aisles and letters, imports, domestics, yeah, for your local pick and pull. But yeah, I'm gonna search, I'm gonna look for what I'm looking for. We don't really need too much that takes too much effort to remove, but we just have to find it. So yeah. All right, on today's treasure hunt, this is what we have acquired today. We got some floor mats. Didn't quite get what we were looking for or what I was looking for. I was looking for a hood, a front bumper. Didn't get all those equations, but I did get a side marker. I need another one of those. Need a set of headlights, hood and bumper, and then bend it back. So it's just a matter of, like, they had some stuff, but just the color match was a little off. So I didn't really appreciate it, so I just didn't get it. I don't want it to look like too crazy, and I don't want to have to repaint. But at least we got this out of the deal. This is for the little wagon. Hopefully it fits, and if need be, if I do have to, I could cut it down to make it fit. Like if I have to trim down like the side or something or whatever, we can make it work. Or actually it'll bend up, so it's flexible. So even if you have to do something like that, that'll be cool. But yeah, the search continues. All right, and after a few hours, this is what we have right here. Expanded, everything went back to where it's supposed to be for the most part. Should be good to go. All right, so this is what we're going with. Got this strap here. I'm gonna put it onto the frame of Percy's van, and we're gonna get this rigged up, and then we're gonna ratchet. I'm gonna start here just to get this pulled out, and then we could bend from there. I didn't want to stand like a hook under here because it's just gonna probably pull that up. So I just have a strap going around like the most center point of the pole where it needs to pull from. So when we pull, all of this should also kind of come in where it needs to, because with the hood like closed, you see like there's like the body line on both sides. It's a little wider when it comes down to the tip. Like we could play with this a little bit, but it definitely needs like these 2 points at the corners to pull in. So hopefully that will be achieved by pulling the center point right here. And yeah, so we're gonna go from there. Let's see how this goes. All right, in progress, hours and hours and hours of pulling, finagling to get the core support back to where I can get this hood to be latched like so. Let me pop the hood release and I'll show you. All right, it's not perfect, but it's functional. Of course, you have this disconnected. So when we get our radiator, which is in that box right there, we'll get this installed. As you can see, like this is cracked right there, so this is no good. You could use a scrapyard or pick a pull radiator, but like for the price point, it's not that more expensive just to get like a new one. So we got that. It's not perfect. It's in here structurally sound. Like in order to get this out the right way, the correct way would be to remove spot welds that kind of look like that. Take this fender off, get all the spot welds that are in there off, take this whole piece out, put a new radiator core support in here and tack weld that in. I don't have a welder. I plan on getting a welder. I just didn't want to buy a welder now, but I want to see like if I could get it pulled back. So it's pulled back right now for the hood to actually do what it needs to do. Yeah, and I do actually need to get another hood. I got this hood. Somebody put these Jesus stickers on there, and the Jesus stickers are actually covering, or the sticker is actually covering a rust hole. So I did see that. I was sitting there, I was working, pulling the core support, and I was looking up. I was like, oh, it looks like it's a rust spot. It's a rust hole. And I started poking it. I was like, oh, that's actually the bottom side of the sticker. So I'm like, I don't know who put the Jesus stickers on top of it, but that's not too godly. But anyways, I'm gonna find, well, actually I do have another hood. I already went ahead. There's a couple hoods back there for some other things that were in the making, but there's also another hood for this. I went to the pick and pull and grabbed another one. I just have to return this one. So this one on here is just for like test purposes right now, for test fitment. So we got our fitment, our gaps. I still had to finagle a little bit, but I want to just make sure that they're even on both sides. Like this one, it can shift it over just a smidge, and I'll be happy with that. So now I have to go ahead and get the bumper like put on, headlights, all that stuff, which I believe is all in these boxes. So actually, let me get all this stuff open, and we can just show you, or I can show you what's in store, what we have planned, what I'm working on. So let me get this stuff going. A radiator. This is important. But yeah, so now I could go ahead and get all the maintenance stuff done. I already did like maintenance on a Toyota Camry. Check my previous videos out if you want to see oil changes, power steering, coolant, transmission stuff. That's already been done. This video is just to kind of see about getting this straightened up and how easy it is, and if I would do it again. So I don't know. We're gonna find out, but let me get this stuff installed. I'm gonna throw this in to remove this. There's core supports at the top. You unbolt those, and like that disconnects your upper or lower radiator hoses, lower radiator hose, upper, your transmission cooler lines right there. Disconnect those. Of course, drain your coolant. Make sure it's all empty first from the paddock, and it pulls straight up. But yeah. So right here, we're moving the oil pan. This is like one of the most annoying, tedious part of this job. So I'm just going to show you like some of the things I had to go through just to kind of get this up and running before it's ready to be sold. And this wasn't the first, or it wasn't going to be the last time that I removed the oil pan, because I did run into a hiccup removing the timing belt and the oil pump drive gear, which the oil pan needs to be dropped so I could disconnect the oil pickup. So I did this 2 times in the process of getting this car ready. Right here, I'm removing the timing belt bolt. I tried using the impact gun, but the impact gun wasn't like I don't know, strong enough, or just too much movement in the bolt itself. So the only way I could get the bolt off is what you see here, and that was the bolt breaking loose, and not just everything being shattered to a million pieces. You could probably see like on the look on my face, I'm just kind of looking like, did I just destroy something? Did I just give myself more work, or did it actually break loose? But the bolt did get broken loose during the process of this. You just need to actually have some torque on it. I did have a holder tool in place there, and we got everything broken loose. So the tool I was using wasn't the right tool, but we made it happen. God dang. All that for that. But it's off. So now we got to get the pulley, the crate pulley off. So that's where we're at. Right here. Pain in the butt. Didn't snap a bolt. I thought I was going to shear this off. The holder tool I have is not made for this, so you can't get both of those bolts in. It does have opening for two, but we only got the one on. So the next challenging part will be getting this pulley off if it doesn't just slide off, which I doubt it will. Of course not, but I have pullers. We're gonna get this off. The hardest part, I believe, is getting that bolt off, and the next hardest part is gonna get that crank pulley off. But once we do, we're gonna clean that up with like an emery cloth and put some anti-seize on it, just so we don't have like an issue with the pulley coming off in the future. For the future person who's gonna do the time and belt job on this. But I'm happy I got that bolt off. I think Superman put that on, like, yeah, that's a monster of a bolt, but it's off, and then we're gonna use the same rig to torque when we get done. But yeah, right here to my puller set, gotta remove that crank pulley because it is stuck on there. Like I said, I'll get that cleaned up and anti-seized up. For more videos of like better details of timing belt, water pump, your oil pump drive gear removal, install, I could do those at a later date. It just wasn't enough for like time to try to put everything in one video. The video would have been like hours long, so just try to keep it short, or as short as I could, because 20 some odd minutes isn't that short. This is what I came up with, but I just wanted to show like the hard stuff that I had to deal with just to kind of get this car up to par, and that's the oil drive gear. So we're making things happen. We're gonna get this done. At the end, I'll try to have a video of like percent wise of like profits and all that stuff. But yeah, enjoy. All right, so everything reassembled. I found the nut that I was missing. It was down in the frame rail. I got that, but oil's in, coolant's in. We have to bleed the system, so it's a good time to check for leakage. The main reason why I did the time belt was due about anyway. But I like a coolant leak, oil leak, so we resealed the pan, water pump front main seal, the oil pump drive gear seal, that whole housing, the front main seal housing seal has been replaced. Yeah, so right now we're just gonna start and just we should be good. No leaks is what we're looking for, and also the bleed. So like this will probably also leak down, so we don't want to think of that as a leak, like when we're bleeding the air bubbles out of that. This is the highest point right now. The engine's tilted back also because I have it jacked up still, so that will help with the bleeding process also. Do have extra coolant on standby for you to top that up. Hopefully also check your well, let's just get into it. We're gonna put the key in. I'm gonna set the temperature to heat, hot, high, so that way when you feel heat, the thermostat's opened, it's going through the heater core. We're in. That rough start you just saw was I did the fuel filter, so I also need to check to make sure that's not leaking, so I had to prime itself, get the fuel back to where it used to go. That's why that did that. But we're running. You want to make sure you don't hear any like weird noises. We're checking for leaks. But we had a nice steady little drop before, even like when it was off. It was coming behind the water pump, and then like the gaskets and stuff were all worn out. So that's what we're checking for. And as it heats up, it will, like, metal expands and contracts. So just look out for that. We're gonna let this go. We're gonna let that heat up, get bubbles out, and keep topping that off. Yeah, we should be good. And I also did the valve cover gaskets. There was a seal, the rear cam a seal cover. There used to be like a distributor on the older models. That's resealed also. So majority of the seals have been replaced. I did do the cam seal in the front side. It didn't need it, but everything's resealed, oil pan. And then like I said, that should be normal. That's coming from here. So that's to be expected to drip down, so don't think of that as a leak. That's just doing it what it does. So also, you want to keep an eye on the temperature also to make sure your thermostat opens and it's not going to stay stuck closed. I have gotten a thermostat that was not, well, they said it was the right one, but it wasn't the right one because, yeah, it didn't open. We're gonna need to get fuel soon. And also, like I said, check for fuel leakage on this side. The fuel filter is down in there. I did a previous video on a Camry doing that, so I didn't record that. But we changed that also, just so maintenance wise, everything is up to par and ready to go for its next home. I don't plan on keeping it. I plan on trying to sell it. So yeah, I just want to make sure it's like it's good. I don't want to give somebody something janky where they end up driving it away and it breaks on them. So I just kind of got up to par to what I prefer, where I say it's good. So if I saw a problem, like a real problem like that leak, we don't want to leave somebody stuck somewhere. So took care of that. And a timing belt. Timing belt's like you're good for like 100,000. You're supposed to be. Yeah, they just got to do general maintenance now. Like all fluids are done. But let me keep this going. I'll be back I'll be back. Just give you an update with the temperatures and if there's any leaks. It appears to be good. Like it was leaking down in there, but it appears to be dry now. Yeah, so I'm pleased. We'll be back. All right, so it's all good. No leaks. The leak you see right there is just from like the radiator overflowing. But coolant leak on this side, the engine leak, oil leaks. Everything appears good. Heat's working. Everything's circulating. No crazy noises. Everything is good. Yeah, so right now I just have to go ahead and just finish reassembling the bumper. It's not perfect, but presentable. That's what we're aiming for. And I might clean up like the engine bay a little bit, just like spray it down at the car wash or something. But yeah, for the most part, we're finished. There's a couple little buttoning up items I need to do, but like nothing really too concerning where I need to actually record it. Yeah, and also you will get like a coolant smell. You'll see like a little bit of like condensation smoke coming up. That's to be expected. Like when you had all your coolant kind of overflowing around this, it's going to take a little bit for that to dissipate. So you will smell some coolant, so don't be alarmed. It's all good. And yeah, so we're good. Need fuel, finish up the bumper. Actually road test drive it. Yeah, and make sure it's all good to go. But stay tuned.